Yo, what's going on, guys? This is going to be my Stamina Nightblade build for Lost Depths. Let's go right into our setup here. We're running 10 health and 54 stamina, so you squeak by on the 30k max health. And then we're running 24k max stamina with 17k magicka. Our magic recovery is 1200. Our stamina recovery is 1400. Our weapon damage is 4500. Weapon critical is 22%. And our penetration is 8600, with our resistances being 20k. Our crit resist is 1700, and we're running the Shadow Mundus Stone for the extra crit chance, with Vampire Stage 3 and Jewels of Mistral as our food. You can run the gold version. I just think there's no point. You might as well just run the purple version. It's cheaper and does exactly the same thing. Our crit healing is 30%, and our critical damage is 40%. With race against time up, it will go up by 10%. So we gain -4. Fully buffed up, we're rocking 5700 weapon damage, 40% weapon critical, with 2300 stamina recovery, 1700 magic recovery. Our resistances go up to 31k on the back bar. On the front bar, we're rocking 29k and a half resistances. So we're very tanky. We have good weapon damage, good crit, and we have pretty nice sustain. So let's jump into our sets here. For our first set, it's going to be Mace of the Fire. This gives us a massive damage proc. Gives us 3k flame damage. This can occur once every 2 seconds when you deal damage with a weapon. So this is very easy to proc, and this is very strong since this is very easy to proc while you're weaving your light attack and surprise attack. This gives you a nice chunky extra bit of burst and pressure. And our back part is going to be Sword of Wretched Vitality. While in combat, applying major or debuff, you gain 260 magic and stamina recovery. And while in combat, applying a minor debuff or buff, you gain 130 magic and stamina recovery. This gives us an insane amount of sustain, which is very nice to have. Our mythic is Mark and Ring. I think this is the best mythic to run. And then our monster set will be Engine Guardian. You can run Battleground is the other option I recommend. Magma Incinerate on this spec would make no sense because we don't use anything from Magma Incinerate. So you either would run Engine Guardian or Battleground for more damage, Engine Guardian for more sustain. You really don't need more damage. That's why I prefer to run Engine Guardian, since this gives you a bunch of extra sustain, which gives you a lot of extra survivability. And we're running One Piece Trainee here. For our traits, we're running Reinforced on our chest, helmet, shoulders, and legs. Those are all heavy, reinforced. And then medium, arms, waist, and boots. All impen to get that impen. For our weapons here, we're running double maces with sharpened Nerdhone with flame poison. And our back bar, running sturdy stam glyph with weapon damage glyph on our sword and powered. For our race, we are Khajiit, as you can see here. We just run that for the extra crit damage and crit healing passive here. The other passives are just nice, but this is the main reason we're running this. We're also running crit pots. I should mention that. That's very important. You have to run crit pots since we have no access to major savagery on this build in terms of what skills I'm running. You could run Hunter, but I don't think it's worth running at all. I would just rather run the crit pots. So I recommend running crit pots to get the major savagery buff. It gives us 40%, helps us get to that 40% crit chance. So we run on our skills. We're running Merciless Resolve, Power Extraction, Ambush, Surprise Attack, and Killer's Blade here. This gives us Merciless Resolve. I run this more because it gives more damage. Power Extraction, this skill is super overloaded in my opinion because it gives you major brutality, gives you minor courage, which increases your weapon damage and spell damage by 215 for 30 seconds, and then you also apply minor cowardice to the enemy, reducing their weapon and spell damage for 215 for 10 seconds. This skill is super strong, and I just must have. That's why I'm not running two-hand for rally. I think this skill is just too good. Ambush just gives us minor vulnerability, increases their damage taken by 5 seconds, and minor berserk increases your damage done by 5 seconds. Very nice skill, plus it's a gap closer, so gives us 10% extra damage on our opponent, which is very massive. Surprise attack, this is the bread and butter. They nerfed this so it only procs every 4 seconds, but it's still fine. Still very overtuned in my opinion. The fact that you get a guaranteed crit strike while flanking is very strong. And then you got Killer's Blade here. I run this as an execute. This is your flex skill. Since Vigor does give us minor resolve now, Mirage isn't as nice, so I don't really recommend running Mirage anymore. I recommend just running Shadow Image here as your other skill. If you don't want to run an execute, just put Shadow Image right here, so you get the extra mobility. And I think that's the other best skill to run. Incap, it's the bread and butter of a Nightblade, nothing to be said there. Healthy Offering here gives us minor mending, that's why I chose the morph. Big heal, Pierce Armor, this procs Wretched Vitality, but gives us 9k pen on the opponent for 15 seconds. This is a must-have, in my opinion. That's why I like running Sword and Shield. It gives you so much extra damage with Pierce Armor that it's so nice to run. And then Resolving Vigor, this is an insane heal this patch, and it gives us Minor Resolve, so this is a very strong skill. Dark Cloak, this gives us, once again, an insane heal. It goes up to 150% when you're standing still, and it gives you Minor Protection, and then Race Against Time. This gives us Minor Force, and increasing our crit damage time by 10%, and increasing our movement speed by 30%, and it gets rid of snares. Very nice skill, since they increase the time it lasts to by quite a bit, so very nice skill. And they're running such a Temporal Guard on the back part for always Minor Protection, but you can definitely switch that out for Soul Tether here if you want more of an AoE ult, or you can also run the Sword and Shield ult here. If you want to run that instead, I just have this on, so I always have it up. But yeah, you know, Sword and Shield ult would be really good here as well. Probably would be the ult I would run in open mode, use the shield wall as my defensive ult. Alright, so what I'm going to show you now while I'm fully buffed up. So our Vigor heals us for 25k over 5 seconds, and our Dark Cloak heals us 2000 every 1 second. And when we're standing still, that goes up to 5k every second. So our Dark Cloak's healing us for 5000 health every second, and our Vigor is also healing us for 5000 health every second, which is just insane in my opinion. So while you're standing still, you can just hold block, pop the occasional healthy offering here for 15k, and you're just unkillable. You're getting 10,000 health a second, and all you have to do is pop healthy offering here and there. You'll proc Engine Guardian will proc, and you'll just have so much healing you just can't die. It's kind of dumb. But if you want, you can change to the stealth morph if you want to. I still prefer running this, because it just gives you so much extra healing. It's kind of broken that you can stand still and heal 10,000 health every second and whatnot, so it's very strong. Alright, on to our CP. For our CP, we're going to be running Mastered Arms, Deadly Aim, Exploiter, and Duelist Rebuff. This gives me the most damage. You could run Backstabber here if you want to, gives you 10% extra critical damage while flanking. But I like to have Deadly Aim, where I always have these two 6% procced, which is very nice. Also Fighting Finesse if you want to do something like that. But I do think these are the best 3 CP to run for damage. And then Duelist Rebuff. Reduce your damage taken by single target by 6%. Make sure you get all your CP passes as well. You also run Swift Renewal if you want more healing over. You want some more healing over your heal over times. We really don't need that since you're going to get 10,000 health every second. It's pretty broken. For our Red Tree, running Fortify for the armor. Sustain by Suffering. Gives us magic on stem recovery when we have a debuff. Pain Refuge. Very strong CP passive, and Survival Instinct gives us a bunch of sustain. For the green tree, I recommend running Gifted Rider, War Mount, Rationer, and Liquid Efficiency, but the rest is up to you. Green tree doesn't really matter since it's not too important for combat. I'll show you the combo now. So you want to open by using Power Extraction here. Get the proc off, hit them with the Pierce Armor, you proc Wretched there. And then you just ambush, you pressure them, you wait until your in-cap's at 120, and then you would just in-cap them, get the stun off, and then just Merciless them, and then go for the execute. Use Surprise Attack to get them off balance and keep the pressure up, then you use in-cap to get the stun off, and then you just Merciless them. You can also, if you want, if they're squishier target, you can just medium weave since they're going to be off balance. You just hit a nice medium weave, stun them, and then go for the Merciless as well. That's another way to damage somebody. We'll do that instead. But yeah, you get so much extra damage on Nightblade. You get 10% from ambush, 20% from in-cap, so your Merciless Resolve hits for 30% more damage. It's just insane. But if you guys have any questions regarding the build, feel free to ask down below. I'll be happy to answer any questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed.